Welcome to our channel. Today we explore the enduring military partnership between the Philippines and the United States, a story spanning over a century of wars, political shifts, and new threats. This alliance is more vital than ever, especially with rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific. We'll trace the journey from colonial beginnings to the latest strategic plans for 2025. This isn't just about treaties or hardware, it's about shared sacrifices and a resilient connection that's weathered many storms. We'll highlight key moments, fighting side by side in World War II, debates over military bases, and the evolution of joint strategies. The alliance has grown stronger in recent years, shaped by the leadership of presidents from Duterte to Marcos Jr. We'll reveal new defense locations, advanced technology, and the largest joint military exercises ever held. These developments show a renewed commitment to facing modern threats together. You'll learn about foundational agreements like the Mutual Defense Treaty and Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, and how soldiers from both nations train for any crisis. Get ready for the full story of a military alliance that continues to shape global events and protect shared values. The U.S.-Philippines military relationship began in 1898, with the Spanish-American War and the Treaty of Paris, marking the start of American colonial rule. Early years were tough, but they established the first military and administrative ties, laying the groundwork for future cooperation. The U.S. built military structures and trained Filipino officers, creating deep institutional links and a shared military culture. This bond was tested during World War II. In December 1941, Japan attacked the Philippines, making it a major Pacific battleground. American and Filipino forces fought side by side under General MacArthur in battles like Bataan and Corregidor, symbolizing resistance despite eventual surrender. MacArthur's promise, "I shall return," was fulfilled in 1944, as U.S. forces liberated the Philippines with the help of Filipino guerrillas. This shared struggle forged a powerful bond of camaraderie and mutual respect. The experience of fighting and sacrificing together became the emotional core of their future alliance. The war's legacy was not just military victory but a deep sense of partnership. These events set the stage for a formal alliance in the post-war era. The seeds of trust and cooperation planted during this era would shape the region for generations. The alliance's roots run deep, born from shared hardship and hope. In 1946, the U.S. recognized Philippine independence, but military and economic ties remained strong. The U.S. retained control over key military bases, vital for regional security in the early Cold War. The Philippines, rebuilding from war, relied on U.S. aid and support. Rising communist threats in Asia made both nations realize the need for a formal defense pact. In 1951, the Mutual Defense Treaty, MDT, was signed, cementing the alliance. The MDT's core, an attack on one is a threat to both, promising mutual support. This treaty provided a legal foundation for ongoing cooperation, joint exercises, and U.S. military presence. It sent a clear message: the U.S. and Philippines stood together against aggression. The MDT remains the bedrock of the alliance to this day. This formal pledge linked their security and shaped the region's strategic landscape. The partnership was no longer just historical, it was now official and enduring. The alliance would adapt, but its foundation was set. The post-war era marked the beginning of a new, lasting chapter. During the Cold War, the Philippines became a linchpin in America's Pacific strategy. Massive U.S. bases, Clark Air Base and Subic Bay Naval Base, served as vital hubs for operations across Southeast Asia. These bases supported the Vietnam War effort, providing logistics, repairs, and rest for U.S. forces. The alliance's practical value was clear, but the bases also sparked controversy in the Philippines. Many Filipinos saw them as symbols of lost sovereignty, fueling nationalist movements. By 1991, debates peaked as the Philippine Senate rejected a new treaty to extend the U.S. lease. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo hastened the U.S. withdrawal. By the end of 1992, all American forces had left, closing a major chapter in the alliance. The base's closure marked a turning point, but the strategic partnership endured. The alliance would soon find new forms of cooperation. The Cold War era proved the alliance's value and its challenges. The next phase would test its adaptability. The U.S. withdrawal in 1992 was a moment of pride for many Filipinos, but regional realities soon demanded renewed cooperation. Without formal agreements, joint training and port visits became difficult. In 1998, the Visiting Forces Agreement, VFA, was signed, allowing U.S. troops temporary access for exercises and humanitarian missions. The VFA enabled large-scale joint drills like Balikatan, keeping both militaries interoperable. The focus shifted to counterterrorism and disaster relief, with U.S. support proving vital after typhoons and other crises. As China grew more assertive in the South China Sea, Manila sought even closer defense ties. In 2014, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, was signed, granting U.S. forces rotational access to key Philippine bases. EDCA aimed to boost maritime security and deterrence. The alliance adapted to new threats, proving its flexibility. The U.S. and Philippines found new ways to work together, even without permanent bases. The partnership was reborn for a new era. The alliance faced turbulence under President Duterte, who questioned U.S. ties and threatened to end key agreements. Despite tough rhetoric, Duterte kept the VFA and EDCA, recognizing their strategic value. With President Marcos Jr.'s election in 2022, the alliance was revitalized amid rising tensions with China. Chinese aggression in the South China Sea pushed the Philippines to deepen military cooperation with the U.S. Marcos Jr. expanded EDCA, granting access to 4 new sites, some near Taiwan and the South China Sea. This move increased U.S. rotational presence and pre-positioned assets for disaster response and security, the main driver countering China's gray zone tactics and asserting Philippine sovereignty. The U.S. responded by reaffirming that the Mutual Defense Treaty covers attacks on Philippine vessels, including the Coast Guard, in the South China Sea. This explicit commitment strengthened deterrence and made the alliance more relevant than ever. The partnership adapted to modern threats, showing resilience and renewed purpose. The U.S.-Philippines alliance entered a new era of strategic cooperation. The region's security landscape was transformed. The alliance's future now hinged on unity against shared challenges. As of July 2025, the alliance is being modernized with a clear, forward-looking strategy. Recent high-level meetings reaffirmed the Mutual Defense Treaty's ironclad commitment. A new strategic maritime refueling hub in Mindanao is planned, dispersing U.S. fuel supplies and boosting operational resilience. This initiative contracts local companies, increasing logistical nodes and reducing vulnerability. The 2025 Balikatan exercises were the largest ever, involving over 14,000 troops and covering land, sea, air, cyber, and space domains. Complex scenarios like defending maritime terrain and long-range strikes demonstrated credible deterrence. The alliance is expanding multilaterally with joint drills involving Japan, France, and Canada. This squad approach builds a network of like-minded nations for a free and open Indo-Pacific. The U.S. is accelerating support for Philippine military modernization, providing advanced drones, coastal defense, and cyber technology. The partnership is now more integrated, flexible, and ready for future challenges. The alliance's modernization signals a new era of regional security. Together, they're building a credible, adaptive defense posture. Beyond official statements, the alliance's true depth is seen in its quiet, strategic moves. The U.S. is expanding its operational footprint in the southern Philippines, rotating specialized units and surveillance assets to counter China's activities. By leveraging commercial infrastructure like the Mindanao Refueling Hub, the U.S. boosts logistics without permanent bases, respecting Philippine sovereignty. This contractor-operated model offers flexibility and sustainability. The risks are real. In February 2025, a surveillance plane crash in Maguindanao claimed the lives of a U.S. Marine and 3 contractors, underscoring the alliance's human cost. Despite such dangers, the commitment remains strong. The alliance's resilience is also seen in its ability to separate military cooperation from economic disputes like potential trade tariffs. Defense ties are treated as a vital, distinct pillar, protected from political turbulence. This compartmentalization is key to the alliance's endurance. Even amid disagreements, the military partnership thrives. The alliance's strength lies in its adaptability and shared resolve. Looking ahead, the U.S.-Philippines alliance is set to become even more crucial in a complex Indo-Pacific. The Foundation, Mutual Defense Treaty (VFA) and EDCA creates a flexible, multi-layered partnership ready for evolving threats. The focus will be on technology and interoperability, with the U.S. supporting Philippine military modernization across all domains. Multilateral cooperation will grow, involving partners like Japan, Australia, and European allies. More joint exercises and coordinated patrols will strengthen collective deterrence. This alliance, forged in war and tested by time, now enters its most dynamic chapter. Built on shared history and values, it stands as a pillar of regional stability. The path ahead will have challenges, but the commitment is stronger than ever. If you found this deep dive valuable, comment and subscribe for more real stories. Thank you for watching.